Toda Rabba, Rabbi Bloom. I want to offer a big heartfelt welcome to our new Federation CEO, Adam Silver. Please make your way to the podium. I would like to ask him to come and share some opening remarks, marking this one-year anniversary of the deadliest attack on the Jewish people since the Holocaust.
My name is Adam Silver, and I'm the President and CEO of Jewish Federation of Ottawa and Ottawa Jewish Community Foundation. It's my humble privilege to share a few words today, almost one full year since Israel experienced the single largest and most heinous attack on its citizen and others from over 40 countries. More than 1,200 people of all ages and backgrounds were tortured, murdered, or both. And over 240 hostages were taken from us, many still not home, and many murdered while in captivity. These acts of violence were not demonstrations of resistance. They were acts of terror driven by genocidal hate. Hamas and its supporters don't even try to hide the fact, building death, destruction, and eradication into their operating charter. Sadly, we have come to learn that many everyday residents of Gaza also participated in these atrocities, from breaching into Israel and maiming, killing, and looting to holding hostages in their homes with Hamas. We are now 1 year later, a year of mourning, a year of fighting, a year of wishing.
We've talked earlier this year, and I was telling you that I'm doing a documentary on all the protest marches and vigils that happen on Wellington Street, and it's been a long year since we've chatted for both of us for different reasons. Can you tell us about some of the things that have been going on in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict? Because really, it's obviously captivated the world. A lot of people are concerned. There's so much going on. I'll tell you what I'm feeling as a Canadian or an Indigenous person living in Canada, but you could tell me how things are going from your point of view on the Israeli and Palestinian issue, because it's gotten a lot bigger since we chatted last.
Okay, thank you. Well, unfortunately, October 7th, 2023 still continues, and the Iranian regime is continuing to fund the proxies of Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, the Islamic Jihad, and whoever else. There's numerous people. There's over 10,000 rockets have been fired into Israel over the last year. Today, as we stand here today, rockets are continuing to be fired into Israel. There was a terrorist attack today in Israel where 10 people got injured. A young woman died. There's continuous terror attacks by whether it's proxies or whether it's anti-Israel, anti-Jew members of the Gazan Society or the Hamas or Hezbollah or whoever else takes responsibility. It's the Jew hatred continues, anti-Semitic incidents continue in this country and many other countries, and it's a nightmare. Israel faces an existential threat. Jewish people around the world face an existential threat, and the West has to understand that the enemy is the Iranian regime and their terrorist organizations that they fund, and they don't only want just an end to the Jewish, they want a caliphate, they want an end to the Western society as we know it. And so Israel is defending itself, and now Israel has been forced to get a little more aggressive because they're hiding in Lebanon, they're hiding amongst civilians, they've got tunnels that they're uncovering, they've got missiles that they're firing all the time. 60,000 people are displaced, over 60,000 people are displaced from their homes in Israel for the last year who can't return home. So unfortunately, October 7th, 2023 just has been one long day that continues every day.
So can I get you maybe to kind of recap what has happened since January, and if you would like me to kind of summarize it, the battle seems to have gone beyond the borders of Palestine and the Gaza. Now we're into Lebanon. That much has changed, and all indications are this is not getting any better.
Israel's being attacked now on 7 fronts: in Gaza, Hamas, from Hezbollah, from Iran, from the Houthis. From every direction will be attacked in the West Bank, and Israel has to defend itself on all fronts. And we salute and commend the Israeli soldiers who risk their life every single day for one goal: to defend our holy borders and defend the people of Israel on a constant basis. So they're going to keep defending, and at any cost. Not the first time Jews have been attacked. been attacked with the Nazis and with Stalin, and we're not going to cave. The pressure's on, from every direction, but so is the resolve. And our great spirit and our resolve is going to overpower all the negativity.
One of the more startling answers you gave me was that when I asked whether the possible solution was a two-state solution, you didn't think that was even thinkable. Your thoughts on that even still being something they're even talking about now? Or
listen, I trust the people of Hamas. Whatever they say, I trust. They say they want death and destruction for Israel. They actually mean it. So I don't want to, say no. They don't mean it. All they want is a solution. They're saying clearly they want death Israel. They don't want a partner for peace. They don't want it. If they don't want it, all they want is death and destruction. By giving in, caving in, we're not creating peace. All we're doing is creating weaker borders and less safety for the Jewish people.
How do you see this ending on that end?
It's going to end by the Western world understanding who the real enemy is and understanding that Israel is fighting a battle for Western civilization, for democracy as we know it. And we in Canada, we've got to stop funding UNRWA. We have to call out the Iranian regime, and we have to help Israel fight this battle that's on behalf of the entire free world.
So this is as bad as I've ever seen it in my lifetime, and I'm 57 years old. I've never seen this issue in the Middle East be as highly contested. Are you feeling the same?
Oh yes, I mean we studied. We are a people of long history of persecution and oppression. However, in my lifetime, I'm not that far off from you. I'm a little bit older, and I have never seen it like this. And I always wondered how someone like Hitler could rise to power. But when you see the Khomeinism and you see the propaganda and you see how it's indoctrinated so many people and how it's infiltrated our universities and our academia and our governments, and people aren't standing up against this axis of evil, which is a threat to the whole world. And no, I haven't seen it this bad in my lifetime either, and I don't have the answer, but I do know that people need to get moral clarity and people need to understand who the real enemy is.
The only way there's going to be peace is peace through strength, not peace through documents. Signing documents, that's not real. Because you could take a child or put a child into an oven, there's no one to talk to. The only way for that to be peace is for you to be defeated. If you believe, you can never have a soldier in the IDF ever taking a child and putting them in an oven. They can never do it. It's against everything you stand for, And here you have people that celebrated that and to call their parents saying, "Mom and Dad, I killed 10 Jewish children," and there's parades for that in the streets, celebrating their death is totally unacceptable, And there's no one to talk to. And as Jews, we have to know we stand loud and proud for who we are.
I look at you gathered here today, and I want you to know that the government of Canada has not been silent. It has not been by the sidelines. We want the hostages to be released immediately. We want an end to this war. We want Israel to live in peace and safety. We want civilians in the entire region never to worry whether their children are safe. We also want Canadians to know there is no room for anti-Semitism in our Canadian society. Every Jewish Canadian deserves to live in peace without intimidation. Peace for all is the ultimate solution. I know this won't happen overnight. Hamas and other terrorist groups don't listen to reason. Israel has the right to exist and defend itself. However, we must work together to find solutions to ensure that this tragedy,
Israel has the right to defend itself,
of 1 year ago doesn't ever happen again. The Talmud says, to save a life is to save the entire world. Let's work together to save the worlds of our families and our nations, and to create a world free from hate and violence. Thank you for having me here today.
On October 7th, Hamas committed the worst massacre of Jews in a single day since the Holocaust. In the months after, there is a feeling that one cannot fully mourn those who were lost, as we stay strong and continue to be the voice for the hostages. We cannot forget them. We cannot and will not stop talking about them. Nearly 100 people are still being held in hell. 12 months ago, my colleagues and I stood with you. We told you that Israel has a right to exist. We told you that Israel has the right to defend itself. And we told you that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. 12 months ago, we told you to pay close attention to those who stand with you, to pay attention to those who actually do. 12 months. 12 months of the heroic efforts of the IDF to secure hostages, to secure Israel, to secure the Western world. 12 months of young Israelis reminding the world what it is to be towers of light in a vast and gathering ocean of darkness. 12 months of advocating to confront the clerical military dictatorship of Iran for the chaos it creates. 12 months to defund UNRWA as Prime Minister Stephen Harper did 12 years ago. 12 months of confronting keffiyeh-adorned extremist enthusiasts in the governing coalition at every turn, confronting their moral equivalence, confronting their betrayal, their arms embargo, and their extremism. 12 months, we have stood with you because we believe that from the river to the sea, Israel has a right to exist and be free. 12 months of allies and Jews coming together, fighting for freedom over fear in our streets, across encampments on our campuses, our firebombed synagogues, our bullet-riddled schools. 12 months during which in every Sabbath, a prayer is held, a prayer of love and of hope, and for hostages to come home. Each and every one of us has our hearts still in those tunnels. And today, just as we have in every day, we hold them and their stories close to our heart.
Yalpa, Adonai, Biyom, Sarah, Isagefta.
So some of the testimony I heard today, it is getting harder to be out there. You're facing a lot more anti-Semitism.
We just built a new center, and we put inside a big sign, the word Jewish Center, the word Jewish and very, very big, loud and proud. And we had a rock thrown through the window, smashed the window. And we replaced it. We're not going to cave, we're not going to buckle, we're going to stand proud for who we are.
Is there anything you'd like to tell Canadians?
Say the Canadians should stand on the right side of history, and every civilized person should know Israel's being attacked by radicalism and fanatics, people who love death. People of Israel love life, and all they're doing is standing in self-defense. And the people of Canada should stand along with the people of Israel.
I think, if I remember correctly, something you said was Canada better open its eyes because it's coming to this land, is what you said.
Well,
if I remember something like that.
I would say not only is it coming, it's here. I would say now that it's actually here. We have kids suffering in universities. We have incidents in I can tell you, we have so many incidents of hatred in hospitals, in places of business. We have schools being bombed. We have to go to our synagogues with security. What other group has to have full security when they go just to pray in peace and celebrate their culture and celebrate their holidays? We're the only ones, and Canada better wake up.
Do you have a final message for Canadians? And I maybe I'll leave it with this as well. Is I recognize that this what I'm creating here is going to be a record of the year 2024. In a year, let's say 2054, How would you like to see this resolved, and how are we moving forward?
I would like to see this, again, I don't mean to keep using the same term, but this axis of evil removed from the world, and everybody understanding that the only true way to peace is through democracy, through unitedness, through loving one each other, and through wanting peace and not war. And that's the only way we're going to end this is when we root out that culture of hate. And it's going to take decades, but we have to start anew. When the radical Islam people want better for their children, and when they want to root out that kind of culture, then it'll be better for the world.
Let me ask, just curious, if you knew your neighbor was a Palestinian, could you guys live side by side?
Yes, absolutely. As long as they were peaceful to me, I'd be peaceful to them.
Thank you.
100%.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we sing O Canada together and then Hatikva, I'd like to ask everyone